Hello again. What's cracking, people? Today I'm on the road. I'm off to see my friend Yanni. He lives about an hour's drive from my place, and he is a friend of mine who is kindly storing my Karmann gear for me until I get a chance to work on it. Yeah, so it's a beautiful sunny Easter Saturday, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing it. I've only seen it, I think, maybe 3 times, but today I'm going to have a bit of an assessment, have a look at what needs to be done, maybe make a parts list. So I'll see you there. Okay, I just got here, and this is Yanni.
Hello?
And this is his squareback. What year is this?
64.
64 squareback. And basically, this is the reason why I was able to buy the Karmann gear from him. So I love this car for that reason only. No, this is a really beautiful example. And then this here is another of mine that Yanni is kindly storing for me. But one of the reasons I come here today is that I'm going to swap the wheels over and do a couple of bits because I would like to sell it. So I'm going to get that running today because it's been in hibernation all the winter. So I better get cracking. Okay, so Yanni bought this a few months back. It's pretty much rust free. Interior is pretty clean. I don't know what's under the covers. I don't think he has too many plans for it. Maybe change the wheels, maybe a little bit lower, but it's pretty much perfect the way it is. Okay, do we have power? Hey, there's no key. I found the key.
Yep.
I'll give it a wiggle. Nothing. Not bad, huh? Well, that was surprisingly easy. It hasn't been started up since probably September, something like that. Maybe I'll take it for a test drive. I really love this car. It drives really well. But then again, I have replaced pretty much everything. This is a car I bought, I think probably back in 2020 as kind of a COVID project, I think. I bought it from another friend of mine. He had it sitting in his field for over 20 years, and I believe the story was that he saved it from the scrapyard. And when I bought it, it didn't have an engine in it, but he had another Beetle in his field that had an engine, so I stole the engine from that. It's just a 1200 6-volt, but I mean, I've replaced a lot of the metal on this car as well. The heater channels have been replaced, the rear lower quarter panels have been replaced. You know, all the usual stuff that needs replacing. The bottoms of the doors The usual rust spots, but I think I only needed to do a couple of patches to the floors, but like I said, everything else has been replaced. New brakes, new master cylinder, all the brake cylinders, all the brake lines, all the bushes. It has an adjustable front suspension beam, a bit like the one I did in my last video. But yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to sell it because it never gets used. I've only used it a few times since I built it, and then it's been in Yanni's barn pretty much since then, and I've come here a few times just to start it and drive it around here, but it's registered and has MOT and everything. The front wing, it's brand new, and I was going to paint it, but then I quite like it like that, and it has these Porsche replica alloys, sorry, not alloys, steelies, but I'm going to swap them over today because I'd like to keep those wheels for maybe to put on the gear, maybe to put on my 64 standard. I don't know, but I mean, the car is completely now rust free. All of these have been replaced. All the wings have been either repaired, or bottoms of the doors, heat channels. You can see like everything is solid as a rock. And you probably guessed by my style now that I like these worn out cars. They have character to me. I think the way I look upon it is when a car is like restored properly, it loses its charm. It loses its like history, its life, journey through life type of thing. And I mean, to me, these are like antiques, you know. They should have marks and scars and everything. When a car is freshly painted, new upholstery, of course I appreciate it. It's beautiful. But to me, I like the character that you get with a car like this, for instance. It's not everybody's taste, but yeah, I really like it. Okay, I'm going to drive back. As you can see under here, it's super solid. It even had a new, it's a bit dark, new like frame head, all new ball joints, steering ball joints, and I believe I rebuilt all the kingpin and the beam. Like I said, has the adjusters on it. But yeah, it's a little bit dirty now because I've been driving down the muddy lanes, but it's a super solid car. Okay, you can see on the back wheel here, you see that there's this spacer in here, and the reason I added that is because on these earlier Beetles, the track width of the rear wheels, they sit inside the arch slightly. I don't know why they're like that, but they are. So I added these with the slightly wider 165 tyres to pretty much keep this, or get this rear tyre in line with the rear wheel arch. I think it just looks a little bit better. But on my 64, I actually changed the gearbox because it had a 57 gearbox in it from the factory in a 64, because they got anything they could get their hands on that were left on the shelf for the standard Beetles. But I changed it to a later 70s gearbox. So then the rear track is wider and you don't need to have these spacers. It took a little bit of fiddling around, but it works really well. So there it is. Changed the wheels, changed the shocks over, just took it for a little test drive. It actually drives just as good as it was, so I don't know if the shocks make much difference, but I was a bit worried I was going to spoil the look of it, but I mean, I think it's quite cool that I've put it back to standard for somebody to buy it. And there it is. Maybe I shouldn't sell it. I really like this car. I spent many hours on this. Many hours. Okay, 65 is back in its place. And now it's the moment I've been waiting for. I thought I would get this done before I went and had a look, because then I'd waste time. So that's all done. So should we go and have a look? Okay, now is the time. I'm very excited. Look at that beauty. Still got the Texas plates on. Hold on, I'll just get my... It's quite tight in here, so I might not be able to see too much, but I'll try my best. Okay, let's have a look. As you can see, it has had some accident damage before it came to Finland, and they've tried to pull out the inner wing dent by drilling a series of holes and using a slide hammer and pulling it back out. But the problem with that, obviously, is that you're left with a load of holes. But it might look bad. Well, yeah, it does look bad, but it doesn't scare me, because it comes with a replacement wing, which is very important, because they are quite expensive to buy, even second hand, like a used one. But the car came with one, so it's not too bad. I just need to tidy up the dents and drill weld these holes up, clean all the surface rust and everything. But it's not that rotten. It's really not too bad. In the corner there's a bit, but it's quite, if you look on this other side, you see that line that runs along the top of the wing. Well, that's exactly where it's been cut. So that gives a good reference for when I'm welding on the new one. And there's a few dents to take out here, but really not that bad, you know. If I come around, look at the gorgeous sunburnt paintwork, and look at that. Isn't that fantastic? The roof, this is kind of weird, because originally the boot lid would have been the same color as the body, and you can still see like the hints of the blue in the grille there. And the roof would have originally been white, and you can see like the sun has just burnt the paint off. But what I was going to say, what's really odd is that the boot has faded in the sun, but then the body around it hasn't. So you would think that that's been replaced at some stage in its life. But I know with the Karmann gears, because they were handmade, if you put a replacement boot lid on, they never fit. And it looks to me like this is original, but yeah, the paint is burnt off, and it's the same with the bonnet. Exactly the same look. But I don't know, I haven't I think underneath last time I had a look that it's actually body colour. But man, it's so cool. Okay, should we have a look inside? Okay, don't be shocked. I'm not worried. If I'm not worried, you don't need to worry, right? Oh, it's a bit of a squeeze to get in here, but I don't know if you can see light coming through the floor there. Yep, they're holes. Lots of holes. But if I pan around, God, it's a bit tight in here. If I pan around to the back, there's kind of bigger holes. And underneath the rear seat, if I can lift this up, yeah, the holes get bigger towards the back. But like I said, I'm not worried, because part of the deal was that it comes with brand new floor panels, and they're not actually too hard to change really. Well, I'll go into detail when it comes to the time when I get to change them. But I mean, how cool is that? Lots of holes in the roof headliner, but I love it, absolutely love it. And it's the important bits that are solid, you know. I'm not worried about the floors. Replacement floor panels are easy, but all the bits like this, if these get rotten, then it gets a whole lot trickier. These heater channels are a whole lot harder to replace, and although they're probably soft in some areas, I think I can probably get away with not having to replace them, because that would be a real pain. And also the doors, can't really get this on video and it won't stay open. If you look, bottoms of the doors are really good. Well, they're not rotten, you know, just a bit of surface rust and whatever. But I mean, the door shuts perfect as well. Damn, I'm excited about this car. The only plan I have really is that it's going to be kept pretty much the way it is. I want it to look like this. Obviously, I'll take off the bird poo. Bird poo's not staying. Definitely going. But everything else, I'll clean off the dust. I'll replace this wing. I'll replace the floors. I'll have to do something with the interior because it's definitely seen. Oh, nice. That was a car, not me. I need to do something about the steering wheel. The dash top needs replacing. Have to do something about these seats. You can buy covers, or I might even try making them myself if I feel like it, but probably not. But as you can see, all the bits that need to be solid, it's pretty solid. And I can't wait to get started on it. So that's it. There must be something wrong with me, but this is just awesome. It's perfect. I just popped the bonnet open, and yeah, look, it's so it originally was blue, so I think it is the original bonnet that came with the car from the factory, but it's kind of weird that it's all the paint's faded on the top. Maybe they were painted in different places or something in the factory, I don't know, but that's cool. Tyres look good. Got another few thousand kilometers on those, yeah. Cross plies as well. And there is a steering wheel here. It doesn't look too much better, but I could always paint it. It's not cracked, which is the main thing. And the rear lights are there. It comes with lots of parts that are not actually in this shed. Like I said, the floor pans, etc. And I think it needs a new fuel tank. That's no biggie. It's the same as the one on a Beetle. So it's not specific to the Karmann gear. I would imagine parts for these are probably quite expensive compared to what I'm used to with the Beetle. But there it is. Well, it's not coming out of here today, but I'm hoping the next time I come here I'm going to take the body off of the floor pan, so then I can start replacing the floor panels, and hopefully by that time the engine will be finished. So once the floor pan is painted, etc., engine will go in, I'll replace all the brakes and all the good stuff, and then it's ready to weld that rear wing on and whatever else I find. Hopefully I don't find too much, but you never know with these old cars, huh? You never know. I was on my way home from Yanni's, and then I thought, well, it's not actually that late. Why don't I swing by work and throw these bad boys on? So I'm going to put them on and maybe go for a test drive. This is something I'll share with you. When I bought these shocks, I know that I selected the right year and everything, they're the right ones for the car. I'm not sure if I've been sent the wrong ones, but when I've looked online again, you can see in the kit that it comes with these. And if you look at where the top of the shock mounts to the car, these obviously fit in there perfectly like that, which is fine. But this thread is not the same as the original, which is no big deal because you know, this actually goes through and then you just put a nut on. But these original ones are a lot longer because they have to not only go through the top of the shock, but they also need to go through what they mount to, on the back at least. And that's why these bolts are so long. The front ones I think are slightly shorter. Yeah, front ones are slightly shorter because they just go straight into the beam. In the kit they also come with these like collars which also fit in there, so I thought, well, that's the answer then. This is like a universal kit, and then you just slip the original bolt through the middle. But it's actually really loose. So what I did, I don't know if anybody else has had the same problem, but what I actually did is the old shocks that I had, I actually cut out the center pieces, you know, like this bit. I actually cut this off the old shocks, and then I've been using those as a collar because the diameter actually fits in there perfectly, like that. And then obviously the original bolt goes in perfectly. But I just find it quite weird that the kit came with these that I can't get to work anyway. So that's just a little tip if anybody's had the same problem. But it works perfect. So now I just go and bolt them on. really well. The new shocks make a bit of difference, not massively different, but really nice now. Runs really good. The only thing I want to change is the front brakes because they're a bit poo. So I think that's going to be next on the list of to-dos for sure. I also wouldn't mind changing the starter motor for a high torque one. But that's to come. I still need to change this front beam, although I'm kind of wondering if it's worth it. I don't know, but I've done the work now, so I might as well change it and see what it looks like. If I don't like it, I just change it back over. I'm not sure about the wheels still. I'm not sure whether to put those chrome wheels that I got off the 65 on here just to try see what they look like. But I mean, yeah, it's running really nice, so it's ready for the summer, hopefully, if nothing goes wrong. But that's it for today. I'm a little bit tired, I'm a little bit hungry, and I think I need a couple of days off from Volkswagens, don't you think? But until next time, thanks for watching.